that you already weren't, but it was I thought it was very buttoned up and you fucking killed it. And obviously shout out to all the veterans, man.
Hell yeah.
Back to some football. Should we just fast forward to like a minute and 35 left or what?
Yeah, I mean, I think, listen, the Eagles had their first drive really good. They're getting down inside the 15 basically, and great strip by Edgerrin Cooper, great linebacker for the Green Bay Packers. And both teams played unbelievable defense in this game. And the Eagles, they got behind the sticks a lot with false starts, penalties, holding calls that kind of stalled out some drives. Got it going a little bit in the second half. And it really came down to the end of the game because both defenses stymied each other's offenses all game long. And it all came down to a 4-minute drill for the Eagles, trying to ice out the game. They're winning 10-7. And this is the big decision that everybody wants to talk about, right?
Yeah.
Eagles elect to go for it on fourth down. It's 4th and 7, I think.
4th and 6.
And they're on the 36, 35-ish yard line. And at this moment, before they come out on the field, I'm like, okay, are they going to kick a field goal or are they going to punt? Even when they put the offense out there, and I thought punt because I'm like, you don't want to give too good a field position here to Green Bay. Your defense has been playing well. It's cold. This is usually within Jake's range, but it's windy. It's cold. Let's just give our defense good field position and take this game out that way. But the Eagles put their offense out the field. I'm like, okay, they're probably going to just take a delay a game so that it's an easier distance for the punter to. Nick has been this way his whole career. And it's allowed us to win a lot of football games. I know it was cold. Typically punting, though, I wouldn't think that like that affects that. I mean, I know it affects the punter a lot, but you're not going for distance. You're just trying to kick this thing up there and get a little bit of field position.
Mm-hmm.
4th and 6, not a high percentage throw. They must have felt really good about it to make that call. But outside of that, thankfully the defense showed up and got a stop when they needed it. You know what I mean? They held them to have to try and attempt a 63-yard field goal on the other end. And they got out of Lambeau with a big victory against a really good defense. I came away from the game like, dude, even rewatching it, Green Bay's linebackers and their safeties and how they came down into the box, they played really well. I really think Jeff Hafley has done a tremendous job with that whole unit. They have players across the board, and they came to play, especially a bounce-back game for them for giving up the rushing yards they did to Carolina. They were fired up to play, and they played hard. They played physical all game long, and it was an old school type of NFL game.
It really was. That's what it kind of reminded me of watching that thing. Because it felt like you're in historic Lambeau on the biggest night in football, Monday night, and it's like you're just sitting there watching, two legendary organizations go at it for the 100th time. And it's just it felt like that old school style of football, cold weather game. Guys are, plays are being made on the defensive side for the majority of the game. Finally, the offense gets going for a little bit in the fourth quarter. And it's like, oh, all right, now you got everybody on the edge of their seat and shit's going on, stops altogether.
When he got traded here, one of his first sound bites was that's like the greatest thing that's ever happened in his life. And I mean,
Jesus,
I know the aggressive statement, but for the Eagles, this might be the greatest thing that's happened this season so far is getting Jalen Phillips. What an amazing maiden voyage for the veteran defensive end, outside linebacker, whatever you want to call him, edge defender. He made his presence felt early and often. He was phenomenal all game long. We knew he was a great player. He picked up right away and came up huge for the Eagles. The Eagles are going to get tested. I mean, listen, they won in Green Bay, big game, and they got a big one coming up next week. Yep. Lions, Sunday Night Football. Their offense is functioning very well right now. I think they scored on every possession this past week against Washington. So they're going to have to come to play on offense this week if they want to win this one.
And that'll be a little Sunday night football action, playing back-to-back night games, prime time, baby, with new play caller over there in Detroit.
Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell.
Dude, the readers. I love that sideline pick.
He's so good, man. Dude.
The 4 o'clock games, it was like what? It was Lions, Rams, and who was the other one where it was just like, these are all going to be blowouts. These aren't even going to be close.
Every single one of them was just
and you knew it coming into it. It was like, all of these are going to be fucking
none of them. The Rams and
the Rams 49ers was the one where it's like the 49ers defense has been good.
All right, let's talk some other stuff that's going on around the league. Giants fired coach Brian Daboll.
Yep. Daboll is gone, making former Eagles quarterback and Chiefs coach and Jason Kelce's friend Mike Kafka the interim head coach.
Coach Calf.
Coach Kafka was Mike Kafka, quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles when I first got into the NFL.
And he was my QB coach when I first got into the NFL.
That's right. Went over to Kansas City quickly and ended up having a tremendous career there as offensive coordinator. He's got some hardware from his time in KC. Won one Super Bowl there, and he's been in New York the last few years since Brian Daboll got there. Now the interim head coach. Can't wait to see what Kafka can do up there. Listen, this is how it works. You know, Daboll was there for 4 years. They've changed over the roster completely, and the team just hasn't gotten better, right? They show flashes. Like, it felt like 4 weeks ago, it felt like things were starting to turn a corner.
Yeah, we were seeing
they started getting Jackson Dart out there, Cam Scatterboo. It felt like, okay, this team's starting to have some confidence and find themselves. But yeah, the graphics are all out there. They've blown a number of big double-digit leads that good teams just don't do, and really disciplined teams don't do. And, you know, it's not all Brian Daboll's fault. It never is. But when you're the head coach, you're the one ultimately responsible. Somehow the general manager's abstaining from responsibility over this whole thing to date. You know, Wink Martindale, the defensive coordinator, they move on from him a couple seasons ago. They move on from Saquon Barkley, famously last season.
Daniel Jones.
They move on from Daniel Jones. And all three of these guys have had success at their next stops. So, you know, the common denominator is like, hey, we've had players apparently that are good in this building that haven't played at a high level. So ultimately there's going to be change coming whenever that happens for sure.
Yeah. And it's a tough situation for our guy Kafka to come into, but he is one of the best football knowledge and offensive like gurus, man. I like when he was in Kansas City, man. Just hearing him talk ball and hearing him talk about how the offense needs to get going, I always was just blown away by it. And no better stamp of approval than his absurd
78 times.
Good luck to Kafka in the New York Football Giants, man.
Yeah, good luck to Kafka. I will not say good luck, Giants. All right, keeping it on coaches, Mike McDaniels. Little drive-by troll action. Let's take a look at this photo. Like super unsportsmanlike, but it's funny as shit.
Them boys on the 2-game win streak, bro. Fuck it.
There is something different about like making a play like you make a play, you get the dance, but getting somebody else the fuck up and then dancing on him feels a bit aggressive.
It feels like taunting to me, but
right? I love it though. As we've said, we are in favor of taunting as a podcast.
I'm fucking
we are pro taunting. And it was also just good rhythm. I mean, he's a good dancer. I want to go to the club with him. Yeah, I'm going to go with the thick six. Shout out to Akeem Davis for an incredible defensive touchdown. Truly remarkable effort. I don't know if it's going to get better than that.
Yeah, I don't know if it gets better than that either. I'm always down to give a friend of the show some love, man. Matty Stafford went out there, went fucking nuts, has the most starts by QB before reaching.
It's a weird stat. He has
It's actually kind of a bun stat. It's really weird. Yeah. It's kind of a bun stat. It's very weird.
It's the most starts to get to 500. Of quarterbacks with that many starts.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Above a certain amount, they are almost all over 500. He just got over 500 as a career.
Well, as one Buns stats and Buns records holder, to another. Many Buns stats. Matty Stafford gets my stamp of the week. After 231 starts, Matt Stafford is finally above 500. He has the most starts by a quarterback before reaching 500 since starts were first tracked in 1950. He is now 115 and 115-1 overall record. So
it just tells you how bad they were in Detroit. Like they had some bad teams in Detroit.
Fucking guy's Super Bowl champ, baby. You can't tell them no different. Well, that does it for Stamp of the Week. Let's close this episode out with Miles Teller.
We don't really get much, SNL you mentioned if I'm doing a talk show. But, I'm so jealous of musicians and athletes because you guys just get that live energy and you feed off it. But after that speech, I'm ready to run through a friggin' brick wall.
When you got the great credentials, like dancing at Grateful Dead concerts, Jason just fucking hits those things, man. You just fucking get your chills going, baby. Have you always been a Deadhead?
For me, I guess I really got into them in college. I've always been into, classic rock and, Clapton, and I know you guys are big Stevie Ray Vaughan guys. Bob Seger, like that kind of stuff. And then when I was in college, I had a buddy be like, yo, we should go to this music festival. It's called Gathering of the Vibes in Connecticut. And
Travis Kelce, fresh off an intense stretch with the Kansas City Chiefs, looked forward to his bye week as a chance to break his routine. As he recounted on the recent New Heights podcast episode alongside his brother Jason, instead of staying home or sticking to the usual, Travis decided it was time for a change of scenery. So he packed his bags and headed to New York City. Once there, he didn't waste a moment. He wandered the city streets, stopped into some beloved restaurants, and just soaked up the pulsing atmosphere of the city that never sleeps. The excitement of Manhattan, with its shifting seasons and endless energy, was exactly the recharge he needed. He reminisced about nights spent chatting at local spots like Puffy's Tavern, enjoying drinks with old and new friends alike. One night, he caught up with Summit for a drink, and even found himself making some fresh connections in the city. Travis, now a seasoned veteran in the NFL, spoke about how the relentless schedule of professional football can make weeks blur together, each day mapped out and predictable, so having a week to get away was more valuable than ever. He described the freedom of stepping away from Arrowhead Stadium, just hitting pause on football and living in the moment, something he doesn't always get to do during the grind of the season. Subscribe for more behind-the-scenes stories from your favorite athletes. While some teammates took the chance to stay close to home with their families, Travis thrived by escaping his usual surroundings. For him, getting out and exploring, meeting new faces, and just feeling the buzz of a different place was the best way to reset. The allure of travel and new experiences, especially as the leaves changed from green to gold in the Northeast, made this break even sweeter. This time around, his adventures included memorable moments with Fiancé Taylor Swift. The couple was seen dining at the Polo Club and later making their way to Zero Bond, a private venue famous for its exclusivity. With its strict privacy, Zero Bond became the perfect backdrop for their low-key night out. Among the few who spotted the duo was Jason Kelce, who shared a glimpse into the evening on Instagram before later removing his post. He described Taylor as radiant, her signature red lipstick and sparkling new ring standing out, and was struck by how present she was with everyone around her. Kelce couldn't help but note a playful moment when Taylor, after finishing her own drink, reached over to Kelce's glass, stealing a sip with a big grin. That snapshot of lightheartedness stuck with him, a reminder of the fun side to their relationship. As the bye week came to an end, Travis reflected on just how much he needed the downtime. 13 years in Kansas City, 8 months out of every year locked into the same city, can get repetitive no matter how much you love your home base. For Travis, breaking away and traveling east to connect with friends and family was the perfect antidote to monotony. The week off wasn't just about rest. It was about recharging his spirit, reconnecting with loved ones, and gathering new stories to bring back to Kansas City. Even as the city's skyline faded in his rear view, the energy of those days lingered, a reminder of why he values these rare breaks so much. The NFL's demanding nature means every player finds their own way to unwind, and for Travis, the answer is always movement. New cities, fresh faces, unexpected adventures. With the bye week behind him, Kelce geared up for the next challenge, the Chiefs' upcoming showdown against the Denver Broncos. The team was set to return to the field on Sunday, November 16th, at Empower Field at Mile High, with kickoff scheduled for 4:25 p.m. ET and coverage by CBS. As game day approached, Travis carried the memories of his city escape back with him, ready to face the grind once more,